Do not shoot. I am AZ-345211.
AZ?
Omega, I am relieved it is you.
What are you doing?
Hey there all you Droidiacs, this is David from the Droid Workshop, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit more work on AZ, the medical droid. Now you can see that he's not quite finished because I've been working a lot more lately, and so I haven't had that much time for the hobbies, but I did want to show some progress. And now you'll see in just a little bit that my daughter is the one who picked out the yellow paint, and being the pushover dad that I am, I gave in. With the caveat that I can weather him later. And I'm still waiting on her to come up with a designation for him, a name, a regular name, the number, whatever, and it would help if I actually asked her. Now, the main reason why I'm not going to be able to finish the whole thing today is because I noticed that on quite a few pieces, most notably the head, I had quite a few areas that just didn't turn out right. So I'm in the process of reprinting the entire head, every piece of it, adjusting my settings and making sure that everything looks really good, so I have very minimal work to do with the finishing parts. But that's going to come in another video. So for now, let's get started. I didn't record myself doing the Bondo on the seams or using the acetone and filler finishing here on AZ. If you would like to see those steps on other projects, like what I did on my Astromech, be sure to check out the videos in the description below. Here, I'm taping up the body after letting the final coat of white paint set for a few days. There are a lot of curves on this guy, so I recommend using small strips of tape when you're trying to mask off a curve. It's always easier to tape over an area a little bit too much than just cut away what you don't need. For the detail body lines, you can use a pencil or a small screwdriver to find them and make impressions. And no, I didn't clean the lines before painting like I should have, so I did have some peeling, but that's okay, because the top coat of yellow covered them up nicely. Taping is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it gives you control over what gets painted where, but it's a curse because you have to then go back and take it all off.
It's a gift and a curse, see?
For the backpack, I chose to paint the details in a yellow color, but I have seen some people do the opposite. Either way is fine. It is your droid after all. I've seen several great ideas out there for painting pieces like the arms, like cutting small holes in the top of a cardboard box so they can stand up. I happen to have quite a few clamps left over from my costume making days, so that's what I used. I noticed when I was taking the tape off, even though I had waited the same few days with the white paint to dry completely, there were still some areas that peeled off, leaving a great natural paint chip effect. This doesn't happen every time, but it is a happy little accident.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
The neck is pretty straightforward. Simply line up the divots in the head support and the arms and screw them together. Keep in mind too, for parts that slide into one another, you may need to lightly sand off any overspray so the parts can fit snugly together. I've noticed that on a lot of these files, the makers have dialed them in so that they are nice and tight without painting. So keep that in mind when masking and when putting the parts together. And now to set the neck inside the body and make the final adjustments. So this is where I am for today, and as I have said on many occasions, I am by no means a printing expert. I just like doing it for fun, and I'm learning a lot along the way. And one of the things that I learned is what is making me have to reprint the head is not enough wall thickness when you cut down on the infill to try to save on weight. It caused something that a lot of you out there may already know. It's called pillowing. It's where the infill is up against the outer edge, and the spot where the outer edge is on the infill is perfect, but the rest of it kind of pops up like a pillow, and it causes a heck of a lot of problems with trying to finish it and make it look nice. So that's the main reason why I'm having to reprint the head, but like I said, that's going to come in a later video. As always, there's still a lot of work left to be done, and it is going to take some time. But just like when I worked on RC, I wanted to get AZ to this particular point so that it was in a more or less finished form to kind of encourage me to keep going and finish up the head. But that'll be it for today. If you like what you saw, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also ring that bell for notifications so that you can be notified whenever a new video drops. Thank you for joining me today. And as always, may the droids be with you.